Greetings and salutations, humans. Welcome to the channel. This is your host, Putinbot. Today, we're going to be doing a champion spotlight slash guide slash review on a Void Epic that is pretty much universally ignored by all the big guys. And I am going to be talking to y'all about Suwai Firstborn. I was lucky enough to pull this champion a couple of months ago, so I've been spending some time just building her up, getting her masteries. And like I said, there's just not really a whole lot out there, so I'm going to just do a full review on her. Let's first kind of start with her model. I'm going to take you on a deep dive. We're going to do dungeons. We are going to do clan boss. We won't do arena because, in my opinion, that's really not where she's going to play at. But if you need a good single target DPS, she's going to do a decent job. But if you're running a Bat Eater team, or if you're running an unkillable comp, Suwai is disgusting against the clan boss, and I'm going to show that to y'all today. Let's first kind of go over her model. She's got this whole punk rock thing going on here. She is very proud of her physique. It's obvious that she works out. She likes to let the guys know that she has got she's got fitness as a top priority. The hairdo is kind of interesting, but you know, hey, what can you do? Now these earrings, those look pretty intense there. I don't think I like to have that on the side of my head, but you know, to each their own. So let's go into her total stats here real quick. Her accuracy is 253. Her crit damage is 207. Her crit rate is 101. Speed is 221. Defense is just over 1900. Her attack is 3,900, and her hit points are just under 30,000. So some of these stats are kind of low from where I would like for them to be. I would love for her attack to be closer to 5,000, and I'd like to have her crit damage at least up to about 250. But with the gear that I have her in, this is best is able to make it happen. And the reason is because of this speed, her speed of 221. I was fortunate enough to pull a Seeker, and so I was able to transition from a slow double man-eater team into a Bat Eater comp. And so in order to make that speed tune work, this is the gear that I had available to have to work with. With this clan boss team, I will show this to y'all later on in the video. She is the only DPS that I have, and she is perfectly capable of one king Nightmare clan boss and getting a 2-key on Ultra Nightmare. Let me just kind of show you the gear I've got her in. I've got her in an accuracy banner. I've got her in a crit damage amulet. And I've got her in an attack ring. If you're going to be running her in clan boss, or if you're going to be using her as a primary DPS, you want to have her in crit damage gauntlets if at all possible. If you're earlier in the game and if you're not able to get that 100% crit rate off of your other 5 pieces of gear, that's perfectly fine. Feel free to go with crit rate gauntlets. Just know that to get the most use out of your Suwai, you're going to definitely want to get her into crit damage gauntlets as quickly as possible. I've got her in attack chest, and every piece of gear I was looking for accuracy, I was looking for the speed tune, and I'm also looking for crit rate. These gloves, or I'm sorry, these boots I've got here, I've got a unfortunate triple roll into flat attack, but you know, it is what it is. I was able to get the crit rate into it, and I did get some attack percentage. This shield is very nice with that triple roll in the crit rate. I then got another triple roll in the crit rate on this helmet. And then I got a double roll in the crit rate on the weapons. All that crit rate was just allowed me to go in and get those crit damage gauntlets on her. If you are going to be using your Suwai in clan boss, or if you're going to be using her in dungeons, I do strongly recommend that you go down into War Master. And I'll explain to you why when I go over her kit. Take the left-hand side of the tree, go all the way down. Methodical is going to be important. And if you are going to be using her in Clan Boss, I know that typically with debuff champions, people like to go with support tree. Do not do it. You're going to need this Retribution mastery to get the most out of her. If you do not get Retribution, Suwai is going to struggle in the Clan Boss. You've got to get those counterattacks. Let's go into her skills real quick. Her A1 has a 50% chance of placing a decreased defense debuff on a single target. That's what makes her so nice in the Clan Boss. This and the A3. As you can see, the 4 books that go into it, those don't increase the chance of landing that decreased defense. It gives you more damage. Her A2 is an AoE, attacks all enemies, has a 75% chance of placing a 50% decreased attack debuff for 2 turns. And then her A3 attacks 1 enemy before attacking, has a 75% chance, this book's up to 100% chance, of placing the big version of Weaken for 2 turns. This is what makes her so good for Clan Boss after her buff that she got early in 2021. To get maximum efficiency against the Clan Boss, you've got to have defense down and you got to have Weaken. If you don't have those 2 debuffs, your damage output is impacted significantly. That's a problem. Now, if you are going to be using her in Clan Boss, and again, I will show you this here in a bit, you want to turn this A2 off. You want Suwai to cycle between her A3 and her A1 as much as possible, because you need those 2 debuffs, and Suwai hits like a truck. And so it's important that you get those 2 debuffs up, because especially if you're running a Bat Eater, you've only got 1 DPS champion, which in this case is Suwai. Now, the other nice thing about Suwai, and this is true in Clan Boss, it's also true in dungeon content that you're running her in, she's like a Boro in that she is a Void Affinity champion. She can play anywhere. Now, in Wave content, a Boro, in my opinion, is better because her A1 can become an AoE if she hits someone with 4 or more debuffs up. Suwai doesn't have that mechanic. But what Suwai does bring to the table is that she has the Weaken, so she's able to play in Clan Boss, whereas a Boro isn't. Let's go ahead and hop on in, and I will show you all a couple of quick runs. And Suwai is easy to build, especially if you have an unkillable Clan Boss team. Just get the speed tune right, just crank her up with some damage, and just let her go. In Dungeons, she does some work for us too. Let's go into Dragons. We'll do Dragons level 20. I will build a team, and I will be right back with you. And I was kind of experimenting with her earlier. I'm going to go with a more free-to-play option here, and once I get the team put together, we will jump right on in and start swinging. Okay, so here's the team we're going to go with. We're going to go with Apothecary in the lead. He is going to speed the team up. He is also going to give us patch heals. We've got Skyle the Drakes, who is a daily login reward, who everyone's able to get, I think it's after 6 months. She's going to give us passive healing in addition to a res in case anyone needs it. We've got War Maiden, who is going to be our defense down. And we've got our starting champion, Kale. So let's just jump on in here and let's see how this team works. There we have it. Let's go ahead and take a look here at the damage real quick. We've got Kale. He's our poisoner, who's going to really help us against the dragon. He comes in at 1.3 million damage. Suwai comes in at just under 1.7. She comes in at 1.664. Skyle, of course, doesn't do much damage at all. She is 400,000. War Maiden, just under 400,000 as well. And then Apothecary's in there with the spot heals. His biggest job is just speeding the team up. One thing I want y'all to kind of keep in mind is that on the wave with Suwai's A2, that AoE attack, she also puts that decreased attack debuff on the enemy. So that means you take less damage from the waves. Also took less damage from the dragon. And so that always helps. Also, she gave us the weakened debuff against the dragon that just amplified her damage, just helped us to hit harder. And if you're using Suwai, again, because she's Void Affinity, it doesn't matter what boss level it is that you're on. She can play anywhere. She has no weak affinity matchup. Now what we're going to do is that we're going to jump over to a different dungeon. Let's go into Ice Golem real quick. We'll jump into Ice Golem 20. And so here's the team we're going to do here. We're going to use Blind Seer. She's just going to help us with some sustain. She's got some really nice shields. If you don't have Blind Seer, it's perfectly fine. You can use a Miscreated Monster instead. He's got the shields and the stun. That'll help you with the waves. It'll also help against the boss himself. We've got Skyle the Drakes, who you just saw, who is a daily login reward. We're also going to use another daily login reward in Dark Elaine. She is going to help us with waves and also help us with DPS against the boss. She's going to be our AoE damage. Suwai is here again primarily for that single target DPS with some AoE thrown in. Her big job is going to be applying that weaken just to help us take the boss and the minions down quicker. Tyrell is then going to be our defense down. He's also going to help us with turn meter. So let's jump right on into it and let's see how this goes. And we're back. So y'all just kind of saw how this works. You see, let's just go ahead and kind of just compare damage. First of all, y'all saw how Dark Elaine with that Death's Majesty passive just procs whenever someone gets frozen. She just goes again and then just brings the pain. So Suwai comes in at just under 1.8 million damage. She came in at 1,784,000. Tyrell comes in at just under 1.2. Dark Elaine leads the pack in damage, coming in at 2.4. And then Blind Seer and Skyle are negligible. They don't bring damage. They just make sure that the team stays alive. Let's take a look at this, and I will sell these. let's do a quick. I was thinking, instead of running us through Fire Knight, because it's going to be more of the same, it's just single target damage. Let's just do a quick damage comparison real quick, again in Dragon's 20. But what we're going to do, let's bring in the other underrated Void Epic, Aboro, and let's do a damage comparison between Aboro and Suwai, and we'll just see who is able just to dish out more damage. One thing I want to check real quick, let's just see how fair that would be. We know what Suwai's speed is. Let's take a look here at Aboro. She's actually a little bit slower, so 213. Total stats for Aboro, she is 4,758. No, let's do it. Suwai's a little bit quicker. Crit damage on the two of them is similar. One nice thing about Aboro is that she does not need 100% crit rate because of her A3. She gives herself that crit rate and crit damage buff. Let's just see. I'm interested in seeing this. Let's do a damage comparison here real quick. And then we're going to jump into Clan Boss, and that's really where Suwai is going to shine. She can play anywhere, but she just kicks the crap out of the Clan Boss. It's fun to see. One thing real quick, again, Suwai can play in Fire Knight Castle. I've done a couple of test runs. She works fine, but she doesn't bring any turn meter. She's just going to be damaged. Don't even bother taking her in the Spider. She has no turn meter control. She's not going to bring anything at all to that fight, with the exception of a Weaken, which maybe can help, but you're going to have better options. Let's go into Dragons real quick. I'm really curious to see how this works. We're going to do the attack up, but we are going to just push this thing out. Let's see how this works. We're going to do Blind Seer in the lead. We are going to go in, we'll use Arbiter. We'll use Stylicia for defense down. And let's go into a Boro. Let's take a look at this. I'm interested. Which of these two Void Epics is going to bring home the bacon? Yeah, they are both doing some work. And the biggest reason why I've got Arbiter in here is that she has the attack up buff. So I want to give both of these ladies as much of a chance to slap as I can. Now, one thing about bringing in Stylicia for the defense down is that she is able to extend the duration of debuffs plus spread them. And so that's going to give Aboro an additional chance to get that AoE defense down off of her A1. Let's just see how this goes. 95k off that. I think that was her A2 there. Got the right there. That was Aboro's A1 because we got the attack down because of Suwai's A2. Then we got the Hex debuffs. I really do think that Aboro is probably going to come out in the lead here. If Suwai is able to out-damage Aboro, it's going to be here on the actual dragon, because the AoE doesn't matter so much. And as y'all can see, we are not rocking a Poisoner here at all. We are going to be relying on Blind Seer's shields to keep us alive from the dragon. There's Aboro transferring poisons. That's another fun thing about Aboro with her A2. She's able to transfer debuffs from herself to a target. I think Aboro is just going to just out and out damage her. But Aboro cannot play in Clan Boss the way that Suwai can. She just doesn't have the weaken. She doesn't have the kit for it. Also, granted, Aboro does have well over 1,000 more attack. It's just a fun test. Actually, these two are really close, folks. So Boro comes in at just under 15 million, 1,488,000, and Suwai comes in at 1,407,000. So I mean, it was close. It was very comparable. I'm surprised. I was expecting a Boro to come in with a minimum of 200,000 to 300,000 damage more than Suwai did. That was surprising. Let's take a look at this. That's crap. Now let's see here. Let's jump over to Clan Boss real quick. I think I have a key. I do have a key. Now one thing I want to show y'all. We're going to go this in the Nightmare. As those of you watching this video know, if you fight with the Clan Boss at all, the Clan Boss has different affinity matchups. Like say, if I was using Ninja as DPS here against the Nightmare Clan Boss, he's going to get weak hits because he's magic affinity. This is a force affinity boss. Or if you're using a force affinity champion like say Geomancer against a spirit affinity boss, again you'll get the weak hits. Because Suwai is void, none of that matters. She does the same work regardless. It makes no difference at all. Doesn't matter. So let's just kind of go in here. Now again, if you are using her in the Clan Boss, I'm going to go into team setup here real quick. I'm going to show y'all something. With Suwai Firstborn, you need to have the A2 turned off. You do not want it on the Clan Boss. For one, you don't need the attack down. If you're running an unkillable team, he can't kill you anyway. You're going to last off 50 turns. If you are running a traditional team, go ahead and leave it on, because getting the attack down on the boss is going to be important to you. But if you're running unkillable, turn it off. You do not need it. You do not want it. You want her cycling back to that A1 as quickly as possible. It is imperative. It is imperative. That's why land that defense down off for A1. And that is why you take Retribution in the defense tree. Do not go support. Master Hexer is not worth it. Trust me. Go Retribution. You will thank me for it. Now what we're going to do is that we're going to go ahead and we're going to run this thing. And I can guarantee you this is going to be a one key run. And there we have it, folks. We just one-keyed Nightmare Clan Boss. We came in with a nice, comfortable margin. And Suwai comes in with 17.5 million damage. This team has no poisoners on it at all. My man-eaters are not well geared. They just have the speed requirement for this particular speed tune to work. The same goes with Seeker. The only person on this team with 100% crit rate is Suwai and Painkeeper. And you're able to see for yourself the damage. Ultra Nightmare is a 2-key, which I will show you right now. I did this run earlier today. So here we are. Again, with a nice, comfortable margin. And what's so nice about this team is that it is affinity friendly. Everyone on this team is void, with the exception of Seeker, and he's not there doing damage anyway. The only damage we get off of him is from his War Master procs. Suwai is doing all the work. And it does not matter what the affinity clan boss is. She plays anywhere. And that's what's so nice about her, and that's one of the reasons why I think it's such a shame that she is so underrated by the community. Suwai does so much work, and most people just sleep on her. If you have Suwai, if you have 2 man-eaters, or even if you're running a budget unkillable, if you're able to work her in there to do your DPS, like say for example, if you're running the slow man-eater comp, that's perfectly fine. Running her in there with someone that has a counterattack. That way just gives her more chances to get that A1 to slap and apply that defense down. And then just run her with a Poisoner, run her with Frozen Banshee, run her with Aothar, Venomage. Pick your poison, doesn't matter. She'll need some extra DPS on a 1-to-1 ratio. She just isn't going to be able to if she's not going fast enough, she's not going to be able to 1-key Nightmare or 2-key Ultra Nightmare. But if you are able to run a Bad Eater comp, and if you're struggling about who your DPS champions are going to be, if you have Suwai, she fixes that particular problem because she plays anywhere. And folks, I mean, I guess I'll end the video here. I don't know what else I can say that I haven't already said and that I haven't already shown you. We've done Dragon twice. She came in just behind Oboro, which is frankly very surprising because Oboro is another criminally underrated champion who just brings a world of hurt wherever it is that she's going. And Suwai is just right there behind her in terms of damage. And y'all just saw her on Clan Boss. I mean, I don't know what more I can say. The numbers do not lie, folks. If you have Suwai, she's worth investing in. Build her out. She's not going to be a huge help on waves, but on bosses, she does work. And if you need someone to just bring some pain against a clan boss, she's your gal. Take her on in there, Mohawk and all, she'll do some work. Just please take my advice. I don't care what Ayumi Love says. I don't care what Hell Hades' website says. Do not go support. Master Hexer will not help you. You've got to get that counterattack. You have got to get it. And just one thing here real quick, and I'm going to sign off in the video. Whenever you do your masteries, if you are taking her into Clan Boss, get Life Drinker. She heals herself up by a portion of the damage that she deals. That way when the boss does his AoE slap, that gives her a chance to counterattack. If she has no healing mechanism, she's not going to counterattack. Do yourself a favor, take Life Drinker, go down to War Master, and enjoy the carnage. Well, with that, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. This is Putinbot. If you enjoyed this video, I would really appreciate it if you give it a thumbs up and a subscribe would be very helpful. Channel's very small. Thank you very much, and I will talk to y'all later. Have a good one. Bye-bye.